Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The World to Come. And this is from director Mona Fastvold, and this is based off of a short story collection from Jim Shepard, who winds up being the screenwriter for this film as well, along with Ron Hansen, and is focused on four characters. Mainly, it's two couples living in 1856 on the East Coast in the frontier. They're out in the woods, and really at the center of this film is this building fiery passion between the two wives of these couples. And you have Catherine Waterston and Vanessa Kirby playing these two characters, Abigail and Tally, and they each have their husbands. Waterston's married to Casey Affleck, and Kirby is married to Chris Abbott. And you have this relationship that starts off very cordial, and there's a lot of chemistry there, and you slowly but fiery start building up this passion you can see boiling underneath of this film, and building up to this fever pitch where you finally get a blow off. And then, because this isn't like a nice rom-com where it's just like, oh, they meet each other, they're finally gonna get together by the end. It's like, this is a bad situation. They're both married. This is a time where this wasn't considered okay. And you see things getting worse and worse and worse. And this film is so well put together. Fastvold, along with her cinematographer, create such a beautiful film. This reminds me so much of, like, I was sitting here watching this thinking, like, this isn't a Bleecker Street film. This has to be A24. And this looks and feels very much like First Cow. It has that soft, just textured look to the atmosphere of the film. How this film looks like it could have been filmed at a much earlier time in terms of the quality, and just there's just a look to it that makes it feel vintage, and that you're in this time, you're here. And it's beautifully shot. The scenery is amazing. It's so well captured. The textures, the colors. This film is beautiful. The music is so perfectly put together and emotive in so many different ways, whether it's building a passionate love and tenderness, which there's a lot of that in this film, and just horrible pain. Because there's one scene where there's a fire that you can hear the music wailing, is as if they were stuck in the fire screaming, and it's just like, this score is really impressive. And you have all these technical aspects, but what works so well is you have this narration throughout the film, and narration can be tough. It can feel heavy-handed. Here it feels poetic and lyrical and beautiful, and as you get Waterston's perspective on all these things and you feel this building, the dialogue in this is so impressive. There's very funny dialogue. It's so clever and well crafted, and sounds like you're listening to a poem throughout this like hour and 38-minute film. And it just feels so beautiful and moving. These words have so much impact to them, and you don't have to be beat over the head with what exactly is happening, because the words convey it in such an interesting and engrossing way. You have these performances from Waterston and Kirby that are off the charts. The physicality that they bring in terms of showing just a little bit. You can see the passion building for each of them underneath, and just their body language. There's scenes where Kirby can be sitting in a chair and you know exactly what's running through her head as she watches Waterston at the stove. You know what she wants. And these slow, tiny decisions of how they move up against each other or how they look at each other, all those stolen glances and everything throughout this film, they really bring this relationship alive. And it's so fiery, and there's a choice that it doesn't get particularly and explicitly sexual in what we see until they choose a perfect moment. Fastball picks a perfect moment to let that catharsis like ride out, and it is at a moment in the film that it just delivers so impactfully. They use a little storytelling like the date coming up written out on parchment, and how that comes back for that scene towards the end of the film just works so perfectly, pulling everything together. And it plays off like, this feels like I am reading a diary come to life, and it doesn't feel like it's in the wrong medium. And that's what's so beautiful about it. It's so cinematic, but it's also so well done in terms of bringing to life something written. And this film really hit me, and the performances are fantastic. I already talked a lot about Watterson and Kirby and just their physicality, and their chemistry together is off the charts. Then you have Casey Affleck, whose character, there's something underneath that you can tell that he is connecting in some way to what his wife's going through, because there's layers there that he is repressing something or not being able to do something. Some of the way he interacts, his focus on people's clothes, you can tell there's something he wants to do, but he can't. So there's some strange kindredship between him and his wife. And then Christopher Abbott, is a bastard in this movie, and just as this film goes on, he's so despicable and he plays it so pitch perfectly. Everything about this film is firing on all cylinders. I loved this film. This is by far my favorite film of 2021 so far. So, obviously, go check it out. But those are my thoughts on the world to come. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.